Thanks for joining us for another edition of Weekend Winners. We're back at Albion Park on Saturday night. It's a 10-race program. Overall, it's a really good card. There's plenty of great talent on display. We start with the free-for-all, which is race number 1, and we end with a cracking 3-year-old race over the mile, and I think those youngsters will run a bit of time. So there's a lot to look forward to. There's something for everyone here on Saturday night. In this edition of Weekend Winners, proudly brought to you by One Equine, I'm going to catch up with the man of the moment, Nathan Dawson. 250 winners recently. That's more than one a day. We've had about 230 odd days so far in 2023. That just shows what sort of pace he's setting. So he's going to join us. He's got a big book of drives. And Angus Garrard also has a really good book of drives. So two key runners here, or two key drivers here on Saturday night. Keen to talk to them about their runners. Let's see what they've got to say. Awesome. Dawson now joins us. He brought up 250 winners for this earlier in the week. It's a frantic pace that he's setting right now. The leader's huge on his nearest rival, which is Gary Hall Jr. over in the west. The man himself, Nathan Dawson, joins us now. Nathan, appreciate the time.
No, good to be on, Chris.
250, eh? What's the final number going to be? Can you get to, let's say, 400?
Oh, it's a long way away, but, you know, I'm hoping just to get to 300 and then go from there.
Righto. Well, let's go through your drives on Saturday night. 10-race program. First race is a good race. Deus Ex is your drive, but this is a tough challenge. First up at this level, drawn the outside of the second row.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he's been trialling well. We've been looking after him, you know, trying to get his confidence up, and he's been getting to the line good. You know, in a quick quarter last week, so I'm pretty sure we'll just drive him for a bit of luck again and, you know, wait for our barrier.
Okay, just on the two trials, you've been with him both times, but the improvement from trial 1 to trial 2, it looked fairly significant.
Yeah, it was. You know, the first time we just got him around, you know, nice and safe, and, you know, just let him enjoy himself. But then last week, he gave me a little bit more to do, and, you know, he did what we wanted.
Okay, well, that's Deus Ex in race 1. Race 3, here's another tough draw, but this horse went really well last time out, Datitude. Did that surprise you in any way?
No, not really. You know, I quite like the horse. You know, his record probably doesn't show, you know, the ability he has because of his manners, but he's definitely got good ability, and, you know, when he does things right, you know, it shows.
Okay, so what are you hoping for here on Saturday night from this draw?
It's a little bit tricky, you know, we've got to get around that first corner safe, and then we'll just sum up the race, but, you know, he's definitely good enough to be put into the race, you know, if the opportunity awaits.
Yeah, he was really good last time out, so if he can repeat that, he's certainly got some sort of hope there. Here's a horse that's going well, race 4, number 2, Not the Kingswood. Just been a really good improver each and every time he's stepped out this year.
He has, you know, he's stepping up all the time and he's getting better and better. So we've got the good draw there, and that's going to help us, you know, in the race.
All right, how much gate speed does he have?
Yeah, he gets out good. You know, I let him up last week from outside the front, and, you know, almost got over. So, you know, he's got enough there to, you know, have options.
All right, you jammed in between two horses that are going to be in the calculations here. Bide Our Time, Gate 1, the Grogfather in 3. So you can hold your own early?
Yeah, I can. You know, you just have to see what happens around him, and then, you know, ideally it'd be good to get cover and, you know, just let him run on.
Is the Grogfather the horse to beat for that race?
I think so. He's going well, you know, and comes up with a good gate here where he probably looks like he's going to get things his own way.
Okay. Race 6, here's another tough draw for you on Saturday night. They're making you earn it here. Gwyneth P. Is she capable in this sort of race?
She is. You know, she's probably more of an opportunist in a race like this, but, you know, if she gets the right breaks, you know, she's going to be finishing off.
It's not a bad field, though. Like, Soviet Stunner's in really good form. Kokora's a last start winner. Magical Mayer's dropping back in grade. Heavenly Sign was really good last week.
Yeah, you know, it's a strong field. You know, it's going to be tough from the draw, but we'll drive for luck, and if it comes our way, you know, should be in the top 5.
All right. Race 7, I think this is the race of the night on the weekend. This is the up to 70 final, and you're driving Luke John. Is this perfect for him, Gate 1 at the mile?
Yeah, it really is. He's been going good, and he was good last week. You know, he just ran into that horse of Matty's, which is flying, but he got to the line good, and he held the rest off pretty comfortable. So, yeah, the gate's definitely a big plus.
Okay, the plan is to lead or trail. Which would you prefer?
Oh, to be honest, I'm not too phased. You know, just see what the pressure's like. ideally out in front will be good, doing his own thing, but we'll just have to see what the pressure's like.
Okay, Graham Dwyer's in form, a Group 1 winner last week, so good stable to be driving for.
Yeah, he is, he's having a good run at the moment, and it's good to be getting the drives while Breno's out, but hopefully Breno's back soon.
All right. I'm keen to get your thoughts for race 8 here. Number 2, Macarena Maddie. Can she lead this field?
Yeah, she can. She was okay last week. She'd had a little bit of, between runs, and she probably just, lacked a bit of fitness, but she always seems to sharpen up good second up, so I'm pretty confident with her.
Would you say this is weaker or stronger compared to last week?
It's definitely not stronger. I'd say it's about the same, but it looks like we'll probably get the front again, and I expect a better performance this week.
She should be hard to catch at her best, though, won't she?
Yeah, she will. She's a nice mare. She's got a few tricks up her sleeve, but if the right one shows up, they'll know she's there.
All right, good push there for Macarena Maddie. Race 9, the trot, Funny Face. Each time we speak, she seems to get better and better. She was really good last time out. How do you rate her chances?
Yeah, I really like this mare, and I really enjoy driving her. She's quickly become one of the favourites up there to drive. Just that high speed she has. But no, I really like driving this mare.
She put away a good one last time out in Sugar and Spice.
Yeah, she did. I expected to, us fighting out the finish, but the way she just picked up down the straight and done it so comfortable, it was quite surprising.
Okay, what about going back to the stand start? That was a mobile last time out, back behind the tapes. Any issue?
So far, so good. We seem to have it worked out, but trotters are funny things, but fingers crossed. She keeps up the good record.
All right, and under the conditions, 10-metre handicap. That's fair.
Yeah, I think so. She's probably proven herself to earn that, so. I think she'll probably get away better, having something in front of her than she will out in front.
All right. Race 10's a good race. In fact, this race is loaded. This is the 3-year-old, and you're driving Frankie Ferocious. He missed the triad recently, but he draws gate 2 here, and it's only a mile. What are the first thoughts here for Frankie Ferocious?
Yeah, we're quite happy with him. It was pretty disappointing to miss the triad, but, the horse is good and healthy, so... he'll prove himself again this week.
Do you want to lead in this field?
Not really. I prefer him off a sit. He's a tremendously fast horse, and, I like to drive him that way.
Okay, so if you're not going to lead them up, who does lead this field then?
Hopefully the 1 leads up, and then I'm on his trail. It'll be ideal, but, it doesn't really matter where I end up. I'm going to know he's there in the finish.
All right, so if we sort of go on that possible theory, if you're trailing the 1, geez, you're going to be hard to hold out late because he's just got that wicked change-up speed, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think if that's the way the race plans out, I'm pretty confident that I'll be running it down, especially with that type of trip.
Okay, so you got some power towards the back end of that program. Is that where we're going to focus for your best drive?
Yeah, definitely. Got some good drives and decent draws, so that's probably where most of the success will come.
All right. Hey, continued success. Looking forward to the 300 mark being reached, and we'll see you trackside Saturday night.
Thanks, Chris.
Angus Garrard now joins us to go through his book of drives on Saturday night, and there's some interesting drives there as well. Angus, appreciate the time.
No worries. My pleasure, Chris.
This first race, this is a good race. This is the stable star, Classy Washington, absolutely flying, Mr. Consistency. But it's a sticky draw, isn't it? Gate 5, and it's a loaded field.
Yeah, it is a little bit. We've sort of thrown him in the deep end here, stepped him up into open company, and, probably would have liked a nicer draw for that first run in this grade.
Okay. Was there any sort of reasoning by, dipping the toe against the open class performers?
Probably didn't think it was going to be sort of an overly strong free-for-all. We had a look at the noms, and we were pretty happy with what we saw, and thought it was probably a good chance to have a look in this grade. He's sort of nearly been racing in free-for-alls for a little while anyway in those 4-2s, and a bit better money on offer in this race, so we thought we'd go that way.
Sure. Now, just looking at it, he's so versatile. He can lead, he can do a bit of work, and he's very good coming off cover. What's the initial sort of plan here with Classy Washington?
We've probably just got to see how serious they want to get, to our inside and outside. But over a mile, we're probably resigned to the fact that we have to push forward. We've probably got to use that frontline draw and see if we can get as handy as possible.
Okay. Who do you think might be the leader in this field? Do you think it'll be one of those inside horses or maybe Future Assured?
I do think Scarlet Babe can probably be the initial leader. She's probably got enough speed to be first to the fence if they want to be, so she probably leads initially, and then it's probably a matter of who gets there first, I'd say, to be honest.
Okay. His last start effort went third, really good. How did you sort of assess that effort?
Yeah, I was wrapped in Chris. Just got held up a little bit sort of when Tim's a Trooper put the leader away, and still found the line really strong and ran through the line great, so couldn't have been happier.
Okay. Let me just throw this one out. If he performs well, again on Saturday night, open class, into Dominion later in the year in our own backyard, will you throw in a nom?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's at least worth throwing in an initial nom. You know, he's stepping up all the time. He's sort of running times as good as those free-for-all horses and those sort of Grand Circuit horses. So he's probably not really far off sort of mixing it with them. So I think initially we'll throw in a nom.
All right. Let's go across to race 5. Back to Batuta. He's going well, and in many ways this could have been a perfect draw, but Ahoka Jimmy's likely to take cover. So that doesn't help, does it?
Yeah, it's probably not an ideal draw, but in saying that, you know, on the fence is a bonus at Albion Park over the short, so, you know, it could work out okay still.
Yeah, he's a very underrated pacer in many ways. His speed is his best weapon. He's quite lethal following a good tempo.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I was wrapped in his run last start in that 4-year-old triad last week. You know, that was a hot field, you know, Future Assured's in the free-for-all this week, and Speak the Truth goes down for the Eureka next week, and you know, I think Captain Shuffles only beat him in nose or something for 4th, so you know, he's really not far off those good horses. He's probably just lacking a little bit of experience compared to them. All
right, well, we'll keep following him back to Batuta, but he's certainly not out of it there on Saturday night. AJ Breezy Rose is your drive in race 6. This is the mare's band 5 pace, I should say, this week. She comes up with gate 3. She's another one, very consistent.
Yeah, that's right. She's racing really well. She's hit good form, and you know, she raced really good here at Redcliffe on Monday night, and fought well to the line. She was 3 wide for a long way, and you know, on the Saturday night when Leonard drove her, I thought she raced really brave. You know, she was left parked out for a fair way and a really sharp mile, and I thought she tried really hard.
Do you have to make an early call here on Saturday night with AJ Breezy Rose? Because you've got speed to your inside and there's a little bit of pressure to your outside. So do you have to make a call early with what you're going to do?
Yeah, I think we probably got to sort of push out hard that first bit and at least get a spot if we can. You know, it's a long way to go back from 3 over the short. So, you know, if we can sort of buzz her out for that first bit at least and get a handy spot, I think she can be right there.
Okay, so she's definitely a player in that race.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Race 7, I think this is the main race of the night. This is a good field here, and you're driving an in-form horse in Escobar. So he's had the 4 runs back this prep. He failed first up. You've gone on, and you've just gelled with this guy. Does he give you a good feel?
Yeah, he does. I've been really impressed with what I've seen of him so far, Chris. You know, I drove him in a trial there at Albion Park, and you know, the time wasn't great, and but you know, he felt good that night, and sort of got the line well. He was pretty casual out in front, and I was pretty confident he'd run a good race first up, and he probably exceeded my expectations. You know, he was sort of 4 wide for nearly 600 around Redcliffe, and got home in the low 56, and that sort of made a real impression on me, and then he proved again in his last 2 how good he's been going.
Yeah, 2 runs ago he was very good. You gave him an excellent drive there, and then last week you went back and then you thought not really suited back here, so you just put him into the race, took control, and you drove him like a good horse, and he responded like one too. Yeah,
he did that really easy last week too, Chris. You know, he had to do a bit early. He was sort of 3 wide to the breeze and then pushed onto the front, and you know, he come away, you know, with the plug still in, and did it really comfortable. You know, I think if anything, had it raced him and I had to ask him, he would have really opened up that last quarter.
Okay, so early plans here from gate 6. What are you thinking?
It's a bit tricky, you know, there's a fair bit of speed inside us and it's a pretty hot field overall, so we probably can't just sort of drag right back straight away. We've probably got to at least come across and see if there's a spot and see if anything else sort of wants to push forward and we can get handy. But in saying that, I don't think he has to be close, you know, I think he's good off cover as well. So we'll drive what we see, but obviously want to be as handy as possible.
This is only his 11th start on Saturday night.
Yeah, that's right. It's pretty impressive, to be honest,
Yeah.
you know, what he's done so far, and hopefully there's sort of more good things in his future.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it. He's going along quite nicely. So that's race 7, number 6, Escobar. Race 8, number 1, Did She Do It? This is your drive here. Is this perfect for her? Barrier 1 probably has the likely leader drawn to your immediate outside in Macarena Maddie. So she's going to be right in the thick of the action here.
Yeah, I think so. She seems to be getting better all the time. Sort of feels a little bit stronger every run. So she's got really good natural gate speed. So we'll just let her float out that first bit and you know, hand up to the best horse, and hopefully we can be right there at the finish.
All right, well, that's Did She Do It in race 8. Race 9, good quality trot race, Sir Fahrenheit. He was second last time out, but this is not going to be easy. It's a fairly good-sized field, 12 competitors, and you've got a 20-metre handicap, and it's only 2,138 metres, so you don't need any bad luck, do you?
No, that's right. You know, it's always tough coming off a handicap over the 2,100, especially with a lot of traffic in front of us, but you know, he does come up 10 metres now, so he's only off the 20 rather than the 30, so that's got to be a bonus, and I'm really happy with how he's been racing, so hopefully he can go close.
All right, you ran into Funny Face, who you meet again on Saturday night, but the most pleasing part about Sir Fahrenheit out of that last start was the fact that he was able to go past Sugar and Spice. Would I be right in saying that?
Yeah, I think so. I was really happy with him, you know. Got held up, sort of got jammed up a little bit around the bend. It got a bit tight there and we just had to stall for a little while and probably lost our momentum, made it look like Funny Face zipped us a little bit, but I was really happy with how he wound up and ran through the line.
All right, well, that's Sir Fahrenheit. And this last race, this is a good quality race, good prize money here for the 3-year-olds. The Vicar of Dibley. She keeps getting better and better, Angus. She backs up from Tuesday. She went down narrowly there. Time was good, and that was 2,100. She's back at a mile here on Saturday night, Barrier 1. She obviously rates highly.
Yeah, for sure. You know, she's finally sort of showing what she can really do. We're really pleased, and as you said, she backs up from Tuesday. You know, she ran her last mile in sub 54 on Tuesday, and she was off the track, home in 27 and a piece. So couldn't have been happier with that run, and should have just topped her off nicely for Saturday night.
She can run time over a mile, so she's going to prove hard to beat here.
Yeah, I think so. You know, she's been 52 parked out over the mile at Albion Park, so it'll be nice to see what she can do on the fence.
All right, so if you're in front and Frankie's right on your hammer approaching the home turn, can you hold him off?
I think so. You know, she's got enough ability that I think she's sort of hard to beat, and she'd step up to sort of race any of the good 3-year-olds, to be honest. So hopefully she puts her best foot forward on Saturday night and can make it tough for him at least.
Well, she keeps getting better and better. So is she starting to make inroads as far as the pecking order is concerned at home? Is she starting to push her claims now?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I always really liked her. I was keen to get her over from New Zealand sort of a while ago, and finally got her here, and it was sort of a little bit disheartening. Sort of, we had a few issues there, but always knew the ability was there. It's just good to see it come out at the racetrack now.
Yeah, I can understand that. A little frustrating with all those big Oaks races, and you're still sort of sorting her out. So anyway, hopefully she won't be far away there on Saturday night. What is the pick of your drives at this stage?
Oh, you know, I'm pretty happy with my book there. It's probably hard to pick one, but you know, I'm looking forward to seeing what Escobar can do, sort of up in grade and to Albion Park, and you know, Classy Washington, I think he's in with a good shot again, and Vicar of Dibley comes up with a good draw for probably the first time. So probably any of those 3.
Bottom line, we'll just follow you all night long. Hey, appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
No worries. Thanks, Chris.
As always, a big thanks to both Nathan and Angus. They've got excellent drives there on Saturday night, and we wish them the very best of luck. Time now to find a good thing or two for the card. and I'm going to go right in the middle of the night. Race 5, first leg of the main quaddie. Keen on the chances of 4 Last Time Joe. He was most unlucky there last week. Hopefully, he's got no bad luck going his way and he can bounce back. He's a proven Albion Park performer. Narissa McMullen does an outstanding job with her team. I like his chances. Race 5, number 4, Last Time Joe. We've got 10 races in total at the Creek this Saturday night. Our first race, set down for decision at 5:39. We'll see you trackside and gamble responsibly.